My name is Allie, and I'll be talking about the hydrosphere, more specifically the deep oceans. Human impact on the ocean has been going around for hundreds of years, from 19th century explorers throwing waste overboard to oil spills leaking hundreds of thousands of gallons into the ocean. Out of sight, out of mind would be a good way to explain how humans have thought about the deep ocean, but little do we know we are only hurting ourselves. The hydrosphere is all the water on Earth's surface. Lakes, oceans, streams, and even clouds can be considered a part of the hydrosphere. One of the most overlooked bodies of water is the ocean, especially deep oceans. At about 200 meters deep, there is a significant change of color due to lack of light, which is what determines the start of the deep ocean. 150 years ago, it was argued that life did not exist past 200 meters. Explorers and scientists have been sampling different deep ocean plants, corals, and animals since. In the late 1960s, new methods of sampling were used and found an amazing amount of species diversity. Today, the deep ocean is estimated to have over 10 million species of small invertebrates, which is double the amount of the rainforest. It is now recognized as the largest environment on Earth. With the ocean being so vast, humans rely heavily on the ocean for food, fossil fuels, and minerals, and as the population has been increasing, so has the demand. Destructive fishing and mining have become a major problem in the deep oceans, from marine litter to destroying ecosystems from bottom trawling. But what exactly is bottom trawling? Bottom trawling is a method of industrial fishing where a large net with weights is dragged across the seafloor and scoops up everything in its path. On average, the depth is around 2,000 meters deep. The goal of bottom trawling is to get as much shrimp, cod, and flounder as possible, but it severely damages the seafloor habitats. Bottom trawling is very common all around the world and frequently used. The United States has caught 800 million pounds one year from the Gulf of Mexico, Pacific Ocean, and Atlantic Ocean. Unfortunately, there is a significant amount of bycatch. Bycatch is unwanted fish and other marine life that is caught along with the species that is being fished for. Some fisheries have even ended up with 90% of the catch as bycatch. Sharks, dolphins, turtles, and other fish have been caught in these trawling nets and are left to die. So how is bottom trawling affecting the hydrosphere? The ocean holds so much life, and destroying the ecosystems will leave species vulnerable. Deepwater coral reefs have been brought up from the bottom that have been traced back over 100 years. Coral reefs provide homes for numerous species of fish and plankton. Ruining them could cause species we have never known about to become extinct. An issue like this could ruin other species too. The food chain would be disrupted by not having enough food for species higher up, and they would die out. If a problem like this struck, it could affect the entire population of the world, especially those who rely heavily on fishing. If a certain species dies out, the amount of bottom feeders that are being fished for would decline. Bottom trawling is detrimental to our ocean, and since the deep ocean is not easily explored, it is very hard to determine what exactly is happening to the ecosystems. The proof we have is the amount of coral and bycatch that is brought up from the bottom. But what is being done to help solve the issue? Countries all around have tried to stop this and have even put bans on certain areas in the ocean to stop trawling. France became the first country in Europe to protect areas in the deep. Bottom trawling is the #1 problem of marine conservation. With more countries becoming aware of the issues trawling is causing, the more likely they are to agree to less destructive fishing methods. Some areas heavily rely on bottom trawling, so putting bans on susceptible areas have benefited. Using remote sensing, mapping out the ocean floor before fishing could show structures that are down there. The more countries that are informed and try to put an end to this, the more successful it will be. So just keep swimming.